Hey YouTubers, today's video is on designing a kitchen in PowerPoint. So this is for building professionals, design professionals, maybe you're an options coordinator for a builder that wants to go the extra mile for your customer. Maybe you are a kitchen designer that wants to give your client a little bit more of a feeling for what they're going to end up with as the finished product. But anyway, this is an easy way to do this, and you probably have PowerPoint on your computer and you can do this. It's super easy. So this is an elevation style. So if you were going to do the whole kitchen, you would do this elevation, and obviously you do the sink elevation, and if it's an L-shaped kitchen, you do this, this wall here, whatever it is. And if you wanted to do it this way, you could do more of an all-over feeling, showing a little bit of the lighting and that kind of thing. But we're going to focus on this one. And what we're going to do is we are going to, let me delete this. We are going to start with our PowerPoint. We're going to go to Insert. We're going to go to Shapes. We're going to go to Rectangle. And we're going to drag out our wall, and that's very blue, and that's a little hard to look at. So let's right click it, let's go to Fill, and let's pick something more neutral. And we can also, just for fun, let's get rid of the outline by going to No Outline. It doesn't really matter because this is going to disappear in the background anyway, but so what you want to do is, to achieve this, is go to a website that you like or that you're using the products for and get an image of the door style. So these are like European style cabinets, and we're going to use the snipping tool. If you're not used to using snipping, you can go on your PC and type snip here, and you will get snipping tool. Ignore that, and you will be able to go to New, and you can just drag your mouse out there, let go, and then you have your image. So you're going to right click, copy, and then you're going to go to your wall here. So this is going to become all of these cabinets we're going to make out of this. Now the uppers are like a glossy white cabinet, and those I actually forget where I grabbed them from, but if you type acrylic, I think I might have got them from IKEA actually. If you type acrylic white gloss cabinets, you can capture an image of the cabinet. But for now, we're just going to copy and paste that here. So we have our two types of cabinets, and we're going to make all of these components out of these two. So the first thing to do is we're going to make our pantry cabinet, and we're going to leave a little bit of space for the kick plate there. And we're going to crop out this because we don't need that. So we're going to right click, crop, bring it down. Okay, and and I'm not so concerned about leaving that little shadow because that actually might work to our advantage. So now I'm going to drag this out, make it bigger for the bottom cabinet, and I'm going to right click this, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it. And I am going to bring this down. Now you see how this it's repeating. Well, we can't turn it this way because we know that it matters what direction the grain's going in your design. But what we can do is we can stretch this sucker out. We can right click it and crop it, and we can bring it over. Okay. So now we need our third cabinet, which is this upper up here, this way upper. And so we can do pretty much the same thing. Let's right click this, copy, and let's paste it. And what we can do is we can take the middle section. So let's crop it and let's bring it down. And let's see what we got here. All right, so this is our top one. Let's bring this down just to meet this a little bit better. Okay, so now this is a pantry cabinet, so it's going to stick out further than these cabinets that are inset. So now we're going to make all these uppers up here. So we're going to go here and we are going to copy, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. And let's do another one and another one. And then, like I said, we don't want to keep repeating the same thing. So let's do this one, Control C, Control V. Now we can crop this one. And let's crop it. Okay, so now they're not identical. And let's do another one, Control C, Control V. I mean, these are little details that make the difference, right? So, and maybe I want to let's stretch this one out a little bit and let's crop it over here and make it a little bit different. Okay, so here we have this one. And let's Control C this one, Control V. Okay, and there. Okay, is that enough? You think that's enough? I think it's enough. Okay, so let's shorten this. All right, so now we are going to do these upper cabinets here. Actually, it looks like I need to make a few more here. All right, so let's do this one, Control C, Control V. And this one, Control C, Control V. Okay. Now, our upper cabinets, we are going to place here. And we can scale this like that. And Control C, Control V. And if you want to, you can leave, if you can, just leave a tiny little space there, because that little shadow is going to help us out a little bit. And let's do one more. And then we're going to leave room for our stove. So we're not going to be too precise with these yet because we're not sure how this is going to shake out. So now we're going to do the lower cabinets, as you see here. Now what you can do is you can go back to your original picture of this and you can take another snip, copy, paste it. Now what I did to make these drawers, these drawer bases, was I cropped it and I left that little crack in there and then I stretched it out. Let's squash it down a little bit. That's probably too big. That's a huge drawer. Okay, so let's, we can make this a little bit different from the other one. So Control C, Control V. And there you go. Okay, and then this looks like I'm giving this a little too much backsplash. Okay, pull that down. Okay, now we can hold Shift copy this, Control C, Control V, and you know, maybe we're gonna do another drawer base here, because this is our hole for our stove. And then we are gonna do copy this, paste this, and we're gonna squash this down, and we're gonna make it into a cabinet. Control C, Control V. And we need one more. Now again, these look a little repetitive, so let's stretch one out and let's crop it. And didn't do it quite enough, so there we go. And we have that. And then we are going to have to maybe think about stretching this cabinet out a little bit. Maybe these uppers are a little bit bigger. And we have our drawer base here, and we need to Control C, Control V, because we need another upper here. And then to finish out our design, we're gonna do some, you know, we're gonna change up this upper here to look to be the wood tone, so that it frames out this elevation. Okay, so now keep in mind that this whole row of cabinets is sticking out further than this row. Okay, so what do we need? We need to put a shadow under them. So what you can do is you can go to Insert, Shapes. You can run a box. You're going to right click it. You're going to go to Fill. You're going to change it to a gray color. And you say, oh, that's too much. So first of all, you're going to take away the outline, no outline. Then you're going to go to the Fill, go to More Fill Colors, and that's going to give you the opportunity to make this transparent. So let's bring the transparency up to about, let's say, 70% and see what happens. So we press that, and now we have a shadow. Okay? So now we can either remember that we did that at 70% and keep messing around, or we can Control C, Control V. And this part we're going to have to change to a little bit darker, because that shadow is meant for different thing there. Okay, so now we have this shadow here. This pantry cabinet is all one depth, right? So your pantry's deeper. So this is actually flush with this. Okay, so now what we need to do is put a shadow here. So we will Control C, Control V. We will turn this. We will put this shadow here. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then maybe you want to run Control C, Control V, run a shadow. Oops, hit the back button. Maybe you want to run a shadow underneath the cabinets as well. So maybe this shadow needs to be a little bit less prominent. So we can Control C, Control V. And let's put this here. Okay, and so now we need, let's just do To make it easier, let's just do hold the Shift key, copy, Control C, Control V, and let's just do another drawer base, and we'll just drag it out. Okay, you know, just to keep it simple. So now we need our kick plate. I don't know what they call it. Underneath here. So what we do is we're gonna copy any of these. Let's copy this. We're gonna right click, paste it. Now we're gonna squash it and we're gonna drag it out. Okay. Let's make it a little smaller here. Okay. Like that. And in order to give this a little bit, make this darker, we're going to right click it. We're going to go to the, oh wait, we're going to go, sorry, we're going to go to format. We're going to go to color and we're going to make it a darker color so that it feels like it's in shadow a little bit. I don't want to go too dark. Let's go with that one. Okay, so let's shorten this a little bit. Okay, so now we need our range. So we're going to go to, let's get a Viking range and go to images. And we're going to pick our range here. We're going to use our snipping tool. Again, we're going to go to new. We're going to drag and click it. We're going to right click, copy. We're going to go to here. We're going to paste it. And now we are going to go to, we're in format. We're going to go to remove background. And we're going to drag this out so that we are removing the background and have only the image of what we want. So sometimes it does it perfectly and sometimes you have to go back and retouch it. So like for example, it looks like it's taking away this, but we need to tell it, no, we want that. We want that. Don't take that away from us. All right, so now we're going to keep the changes. We're going to shrink it down. Okay. And we're going to drop it in here. That looks a little bit off scale. And you can mess with it a little bit. I mean, this isn't a scale drawing. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And if you wanted to, you could even, you know, darken this a little bit. I think in this one, I just left the shadow that was on the picture. But anyway, now your backsplash, just for, just so you know, I went and I Googled Carrera, I don't know how to spell Carrera, Carrera marble, and went to images and I found one that was pretty not too busy. I can't remember which one it was, but this one looks interesting. Let's use our snipping tool and we'll snip it. This might be a little too strong, but let's see. So we go back here and we paste it. Okay, now let's squash it down to the size that we need it for here. Actually, probably should have done this first before I did this shadows and whatnot. But I will tell you, I will show you what to do since we didn't do that. You take this. Oh, actually, it's not connected. So we can always drag our our shadow out, but we don't need to because we're going to put a hood there. All right, so now we have that. We're going to right click it to finish out the backsplash. We're going to copy it. We're going to paste it. And we're going to do what we did before, which was we might need to take a piece of it and crop it so that it looks different, right? So let's even maybe think about turning it. Let's squash it. Let's stretch it. This, and this, this. Okay. Now, I should have done this first. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this, we're going to right click it, and we're going to say bring it to the front. So now it's on top of this, okay? So now we can just do that same thing, copy, paste. We can squash it out. Let's take it from this side this time. Let's crop this. Let's make this one a little plainer. And let's drag this out. There we go. And then we need to tell our shadow to come to the front. So we right click it, we say bring to the front. We drop this back in here. Okay. Now we need our countertop. So we're going to go insert, shapes, and we're going to just draw our countertop. And we are going to right click it, fill it. Let's just make it white because you're not going to see the actual marble in this. The outline we're going to make like a gray color. Okay, so we're going to Control C, Control V. We're going to put that here. Okay, and now we are just going to go to find our range hood. So we can say stainless steel range hood. Best Buy wants to, no, go away. And images, and let's pick one. We will use our snipping tool. We're doing a snip, copy, paste, format, remove background, pull this out, drag it over. This is nice and clean. Keep the changes, send it down to the right size, a little bit more, and there you go. Okay, now for all the knickknacks, you can just go on the internet like I did, and I typed Nespresso machine. I did the same thing. You know, you can just cut and paste whatever you want. But like these jars, these canisters actually were very red. I was able to change the color of them by going to the format color. You can change them to whatever color you want. So that's really it. It's pretty easy, and it gives your clients kind of a feeling for what they're gonna get. So I hope you learned something, and join me next time. Maybe we'll do another project.